actually have one of the board members of the organization behind the show, which is 1KC Radio. He's the president and founder.
Salute.
You know what I'm saying? For sure, for sure. So appreciate him being here. So I thought it was definitely appropriate to get a background on them and, you know, their mission and everything like that. So we actually have the president and founder, like I said, Gunard Polite. What's up, G?
Yo, 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 check, 1 2 1 2.
Shouts out, yeah.
For sure,
Appreciate
for sure.
it.
Appreciate you coming on, man,
Really
and
do.
obviously giving us this platform and everything like that, you know. So, now, of course, you know, we want to know, you know, what's the whole, how did 1KC come about, and, you know, what's the mission, and, you know, what are you guys trying to do as foundation?
Well, I would like first. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Who are you? Like,
Who am
who's
I?
Gunard?
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah,
Gunard?
I guess we could get there.
That's a long question. I mean, the answer to that's long.
Give us a nutshell.
Who is Gunard? Well, you know, Lori, I met you, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
been a minute, yeah.
10 years
Yeah.
ago when we worked at Penske together.
Yep.
So I would say I'm a couple different people. I'm a professional salesperson, and I've been in the transportation industry for 15 years.
Right on.
That's my 9 to 5. For let's see, 20 years I've been a DJ.
Okay.
So that's my other side.
Right on. Right
Oh,
on.
we got a DJ right here. You got a DJ on the
Let's
show.
go. Yeah.
So
What's your DJ name?
it's Catch 22.
Yeah.
So
Real quick, what's the metaphor?
between a hot rock and a hard place.
Let's go.
So you know, I would say a lot of that defines me. Obviously, just like yourself, I'm a father. I got a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Don't ever do that. Now it's been fun. I'm a husband to my lovely wife Blanca of 9 years. Just celebrated our anniversary.
Yes, she's awesome.
And so I would say I'm a collection of all those things. A man of God. So I think all of those things make up who Gunard is. I feel like a chameleon sometimes because sometimes I'm in different roles in different spots, and it's funny. I'll shout out to Nico, who we were doing one of his shows, and that's what you were asking about online.
Yeah.
And,
You wouldn't tell me nothing about it.
He was talking about code switching, and I code switch a lot. You might hear me code switch during this interview.
Right.
And I think being a product of a large city, being biracial, being in two different worlds all the time, like that's a natural thing that happens. So in a nutshell, that's I think kind of who I am, kind of my background and what I'm
Now,
about.
real quick, something you mentioned, I think this is obviously plays into, you know, the organization itself, but you said biracial. What's your ethnicity?
I'm half white, half black.
Okay. All right. And obviously the reason why I said that is because I remember when I first met you, you were telling me about 1KC Radio, you know, it's multiculturally driven, right? So how did 1KC Radio come about?
So 1KC Radio came about through a very bad experience. It started with a bad experience. Part of the reason why I moved to Kansas City, because I'm from Chicago originally, Chi-Town, and I came here to actually be on the radio.
Okay.
I won't say what station, but I came here to be on the radio. I moved down here. That didn't work out. I went to school to be a radio. I was a radio broadcast major, and then I was also DJing. So I was gonna take over KC. I was about to do it. So you know that didn't work out, and I went to offer my talents to one of the community radio stations here because I said, hey, I still love doing this. I love music. I love DJing. I love being creative. And at that time, I wasn't really. Nobody contacted me.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I'm offering you my talent and time for free.
Right.
You know, again, DJ, radio broadcast major. I even had a little small promotion business, marketing business in Chicago that I promoted underground hip hop stuff. So I'm like, I want to do this for you for free, and nobody was really getting back to me. So I looked around, and there was really nothing community radio wise for me to go continue my craft, go, you know, have fun and do what I love doing. So the FCC opened up these licenses to almost 20 years ago now, that as long as you're a nonprofit and you had a mission and a purpose, you could apply for a small broadcast license, FM license. said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try because I think there needs to be a place for young people interested in broadcast, for minorities interested in broadcast, to essentially be exposed and kind of do what you guys are doing today. So really, this is a culmination. This show is part of that culmination of like, hey, people are interested in media and radio who want to experience this and serve the community. Here's a platform.
Yeah. And we appreciate you giving this platform, most doubt. So like, question here, like, where did you either get the inspiration or kind of the drive to get that knowledge? Like, let's say a person just wants to be on the radio, like, where do they go? How did you do it? Like, when you talked about those licenses, like, how did you know that this was getting ready to drop and you had the ability to have that resource?
I like to put together puzzles.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Okay.
And my wife will probably say it's a little bit too much of my thing because like I want to problem solve. I want to problem solve everything. I'm gonna do the research. So essentially, that's what I did. I can't remember how I heard about it originally, but I think it probably was when I was looking for community radio stations to kind of contribute my time to, where it kind of came up, and I said, oh, okay, like, 20 years ago, obviously, I couldn't do that because I didn't know anything about it. Maybe it wasn't 20, more like 15 years ago. But so I just dug in. And I thought, it's out here to do, and really, the fundraising piece was the hardest, and it always is the hardest.
Yeah.
It probably still is.
It always is.
Yeah. Well,
it's a monster.
I think Ray can align with this. Is like what I hear and what I respect is that you have great qualities, and what I mean by that is that if you look at any people that I would say we look up to, right? It's always getting dissed and not being able to be part of that group. So you say, you know what? I'll take my ball and go start something else. So big ups to you on that, man. I can really I really can appreciate that, and I see that sign of greatness, man.
And piggybacking off of that, there's a quote I put out there recently on Facebook, and that's kind of how you saw this opportunity, which was focus on the plan and not the problem. You know what I'm saying? And you saw a problem or a void, and you saw that as opportunity, and you filled it. You know what I mean? So I definitely respect that, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, we used to work together back at Penske, you know what I'm saying? And I think me and you kind of connected. There was a story, I'm not going to share the story, but there was a story.
We want to hear the story.
No. This ain't the place for that. But there was a story that we were driving around in the car one time, and, and you kind of opened up to me a few things, and I was like, man, I could actually relate to this dude. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, and we just kind of clicked from that. You know what I'm saying? And I instantly gained respect, a lot more respect for you at that time. So, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, we here now because of that, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was definitely a dope meeting. Real quick, how do you see, what are your plans for the organization, 1KC Radio, for the next year, 2019?
I want to meet somebody who has a whole lot of money and then give it to the radio station. But yeah, more seriously, we need to raise some more funds. A big part of what we need is a staff member, honestly, to be here full time, to coordinate the volunteers, to continue marketing, promoting, going through program proposals. I mean, we had a board meeting earlier this week, and we approved 4 or 5 new shows. So people are reaching out to us. People are making submissions. And now it's to that point where we need somebody to be managing all that, and somebody to knock on doors, go look for sponsorships. So like I said, when I said we really need money, that's what I mean. That we need money, and we need somebody to be out there selling the station as well, and finding that, so we can continue to grow, get a bigger reach, get better equipment, do more community based outreach. Have an internship program for college students and non-college students who want to get in radio. So all of that revolves around really the basis having one person to at least start that.
Yeah, can you break that down a little bit more? Like, because, let's just be honest, sometimes in our community when we hear money, it's like, oh, somebody else just wants some money from us. Like explain can you a little bit explain the economics of why that's important? You already kind of dipped into it a little bit. But.
Sure. I mean, a lot of people, especially nonprofits, ask for money to be very honest with you, and not to dog on other nonprofits, a lot of that goes to people's salaries, and a lot of that money is wasted. So I can understand why people are like, well, I already give to this, or I gave to that, and I don't have any more money. But when you think about giving to One Kansas City Radio and that financial push, we have costs just like everybody else. We have a very skinny overhead. We don't have a whole lot of costs, especially to be running a radio station, but we do have costs, and if we need to grow, we need that staff person to help us grow and to manage it. The cool thing about giving to One Kansas City Radio, and I hope everybody who's listening as well as you guys understand, you actually do get something back. It might not be the feel good, like, hey, you're going to save somebody who has cancer, but you're going to get all this programming back, right? You're going to get the podcast. We got the podcast page up, so you can go listen to your show, to everybody else's show. You know, you're going to get the live streaming, you get the FM dial. You're even going to get mixes. So it's like, I tell people, if you're giving $10 a month to Spotify, right? You're already giving it. It's not a donation, but you're giving your $10 a month
to a big corporation.
To a big corporation. Why don't you invest that in local community radio? That's a platform for minorities. That's a place for people of different backgrounds.
You said you was a man of God?
I am.
Amen.
Right. So, you know, and saying that, you know, there's a platform for other people of other faiths too on this radio station, right? I mean, that sounds weird to most people who are Christian, but, you know, we're going to walk our talk, which is we're going to truly give a platform for the urban core. That's a complete platform, not Gunard's platform or how I want it. And I think I've told both of you and a lot of our volunteers, I want it to be less about me. It had to be kind of be about me in the beginning to form it and shape it, but I want it to be less about me every year. So looking into the future, I want it to be less about me.
So Lunch Squad, if y'all been listening, he's been dropping gems, man. He's been telling you, you know, you have to have that drive. You have to have some type of go-getter mentality. And then once you get that started, people will see that, and people will be inspired by that. So shouts out to that.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. I mean, you guys have been hot and heavy on me. so that's dope.
You ready, man?
That's dope.
They've been asking for us.
The station needs to find like 10 more people like you guys, and then I can't.
Ain't nobody like me, man. You ain't never gonna find nobody like me.
Say it again.
You can find plenty of people like Lou, but you ain't never find nobody like me.
Say that again.
Nah, but how does someone donate to the organization?
They can go on our website. I try to make it as millennial friendly as possible. There's Venmo on there. There's PayPal on there. You can give on Facebook. You could just, it's like 2 clicks.
And now what was up with the piggybacking off of that, the Amazon link? Because I've been on there recently. So
if you go to Smile, I believe it's smile.amazon.com, you could pick a charity. Our legal name is the International Radio Project of Kansas City, because I had to pick a name. And I wasn't sure it was going to be One Kansas City Radio yet. But that costs you nothing. If you can start there, every time you buy something on Amazon, they will give a very small percentage directly to the radio station. So that's, you don't even have to give us anything. You just need to start on that link. And I think it's smile.amazon.com.
And we can do it, man. I'm part of just a social group in Kansas City, and we have like this uprising I can just feel in the city, and we talk about how to help the community out. So let's just join together, everybody, and let's just, you know, represent Kansas City and represent the community the way we should be doing. And I'm with you, Gunnar. That's why, once again, you know, when I say appreciative, that's just a word. There's not a word to explain what we can do and how we feel. So
right, exactly, yeah. So obviously, like he said, you know, we can't overstate this. You know, we don't take anything for granted. So we appreciate you for giving us this platform. You know, and as you said earlier, you know, when you got a hold of us, when you put us on, I mean, we gon' roll. You know what I'm saying? For real. I don't know if you knew what you was getting yourself into, but
lots of text.
Right, exactly. But yeah, man, we gonna roll, man. We got a lot of energy. We're excited about this, and we got a lot of guests. I said this earlier. I'm booked out through February with guests. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we got a lot of people jumping on. So shout out to everybody that's confirmed to be on the show.
And the dope thing about that is Kansas City. That's what it is.
For sure.
We booked out with people from Kansas City.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna cut to an early break, get to some songs, and then on the next segment, I'm gonna drop my little real estate tip for you homeowners, and then we're also gonna get into the Kareem Hunt incident. So this is a Lunch Squad video or two.
Can I give a tip too?
Yeah, definitely.
If you're taking pictures of your house, because I was trying to be a big real estate tycoon at one point. Don't take pictures of the house when it looks trashed.
Exactly.
Because it looks worse.
And that's my point. That's my point. Is you know what I mean.
And when I mean trash, I mean like actual trash bags. In the picture.
That's my point. Next week's guest is the 3-time cancer survivor. So make sure you tune in next week. He's got a powerful, impactful story.
Right on.
Thank you for listening to the Lunch Squad on 100.1 FM and 1kcradio.org. We'll see you guys next week.